Hey, Grace Point Church family, Pastor Andrew, coming to you with the promised update regarding the reopening this next week. I've got a couple notes here, so I'm going to be reading those just to make sure I don't miss anything. First of all, thank you for the feedback as we released the initial plan. The feedback was very helpful. I want to clarify a couple things. First is that online services will continue as normal on Facebook and YouTube. So for those of you who've been utilizing that, a move indoors does not mean we're going to cut that. We want you to be able to continue to access that, and we've noticed a lot of the engagement even online, and we love that, so we would like that to continue. So we will be continuing that online. We also do anticipate having the radio station 88.1 during the service outside in the parking lot for those who wish to have that. If you're not comfortable with any of the private rooms, but you still want to come to the facility and be close to people and maybe talk in the parking lot afterwards, we'll be streaming with 88.1, and so you should be able to utilize that service as well. As we mentioned previously, the initial plan was to have the kind of restaurant rules, so you have masks going into the service, you sit down, you take your mask off, and then as you're leaving, we ask you to put your mask back on. One small addition to that, the subject of worship or singing was brought up, and the testing on that is currently pretty mixed as far as we can tell. But just out of the abundance of caution, we will be asking people during the singing to put their mask on, just to err on the side of caution on that, to make sure we're protecting each other. So during the message, they'll be able to take that off. Obviously, for communion, we'll be using the prepackaged communion elements, or you'll be able to bring the communion elements from your home. But we ask that obviously you need to take your mask off for that as well. But that during the singing, we have our masks on just to protect as many as possible. The worship team, I think probably many of them will have their masks off, but it will be a extra large gap there in that distance. The cafe, one of the things that was helpfully pointed out was that while we're excited to have that reopening and we want that connectivity, we hadn't really thought about the crowd as much gathering in front of the cafe. And so certainly the cafe had worked hard to kind of come up with plans to open in a way that was safe for everyone. But where we're not quite certain how the flow of traffic is going to work, even people sitting out in the commons, we decided at this point in time that we won't be operating the cafe to start with. And with that, I would say things are going to change. We've never tried this before under these regulations, so there'll be some tweaks that are needed. There'll be some modifications that we made. So we ask you to be patient with us, with each other, with the serving teams, that we're trying to accomplish what God set us on earth to accomplish, and do so in a way that's safe for everyone. And so there will be adjustments, hopefully as the virus tapers down and things resume closer to normal on that side of things. There may be adjustments that would require further enhancement and restrictions. So please know that this is the current plan. We're doing the best we can with the current information, but that we want to kind of have the understanding that some adjustments may and need to be made over time. With that being said, we got some setup to do, some cleaning up from the transition from the outdoor services, some setup for the new ones. So we're going to be asking for your help Thursday from 3 to 5, and then Saturday from 8 to 10. So if you can just shoot us an email, let us know you're coming. It's largely going to be involved moving chairs, repositioning chairs, moving some furniture out, moving some furniture in. So we'd love your help for that. So that'd be Thursday from 3 to 5 and then Saturday from 8 to 10. One of the biggest concerns that I have during this time is that we certainly have the obligation and desire to keep our community safe. And that is 100% true. My concern also is that the effectiveness of reaching new people. And I say new people, the goal obviously has never been to have a certain number, to have the largest number in Biddeford. But there's people who genuinely need the gospel of Jesus in their lives, and particularly during this time. And while masks and other precautions can keep us physically safe, one of the challenges is going to be the ability that we have to connect. Now, Grace Point's always been great at reaching out to welcoming people, meeting new people. This is going to be a little awkward for everybody. If you haven't noticed that in the grocery store or shopping and other ways. And so we're going to have to work hard to overcome that. And you'll probably introduce yourself to the same person 20 times in a row now. But I hope by the grace of God that we could rise above that challenge, because there are many people who are struggling. There are many people who during this time have had their sense and their need of Jesus emphasized, and yet it's going to be harder to do in many ways than what we've previously done. And so I'm asking, not just as a collective whole, we're just a welcome team, but for each one of us to step up. And each one of us to be more deliberate in reaching out to new people. Each one of us being more deliberate in engaging those that we don't recognize. And maybe it's just a mask you haven't seen before. And so take the time in some way, make an opportunity to greet those that you don't recognize. And perhaps, yes, you'll have met them 30 times previously. They'll forgive you. But we want to make sure that we will do everything we can to communicate the gospel and the love of Jesus, not just by keeping people physically safe, but also engaging with them and letting them know that we're doing it because we truly care about them, and we want them to come to know the joy and the freedom that's experienced in Jesus. So I'm looking forward to your help in that. If you have any further questions, certainly let us know. But hopefully this kind of clarifies things coming into this next week, and we're excited to join with you this coming Sunday inside 329 South Street, and we're excited to see God continue to work in this next phase of 2020. God bless. Love you.